Disney just dropped the brand new live-action Moana trailer, literally yesterday, and the internet is already exploding. The cast is finally confirmed, we have a release date, and of course, controversy has arrived right on schedule. Today we're breaking down everything: the new trailer, the backlash, the love, the straight hair drama, why Disney fans are divided again, and how all of this connects to the Rapunzel live-action movie in some way. First, let's talk about the original Moana movie and how much of a cultural impact it had, not only the market and consumership, but also on Disney themselves through how to diversify its cast and animation. Before we talk about the new live-action remake, we have to rewind and look at why Moana became such a major cultural moment for Disney in the first place. Because Moana wasn't just another animated movie, it was a turning point. First, let's talk success. Moana premiered in 2016 and instantly became one of Disney's strongest modern performers. It didn't just join the Disney princess lineup. It stood toe-to-toe with giants like Elsa and Anna from Frozen. Over time, Moana's popularity grew massively on streaming, merchandise, music charts, and global recognition. While she may not have initially opened as big as Frozen, Moana's long-term cultural traction actually put her right up there with Disney's biggest modern icons. For many kids today, Moana is just as recognizable, sometimes even more, than classic princesses like Belle, Ariel, or Cinderella. And that says a lot. But Moana's impact wasn't only about money, it was about culture. Moana was one of Disney's first major animated films centered on a Polynesian lead character, created with extensive consultation from cultural anthropologists, navigators, and Pacific Islander communities. Its identity wasn't European fairy tale fantasy. It was rooted in a real culture, real traditions, and real people. One of the biggest reasons Moana landed so hard with audiences was a seemingly small detail that turned out to be huge: her hair. In the 2016 film, Disney didn't treat Moana's curls as an afterthought. They built brand new tools and simulation systems so her hair would behave, move, and feel authentic. Animators called it art-directed hair. The team invented collision-driven rigs and an elastic rod hair model, so strands could interact, bounce, and hold shape while still being controlled by artists. They even moved from approving static grooms to approving the groom in motion, meaning directors didn't see the final look until the hair had been simulated in the shot. This wasn't just technical showboating. For many Pacific Islander viewers, that texture and movement were emotional. Hair became part of Moana's identity, not just a design detail. So when fans now complain the live-action trailer makes her hair look straighter or overly processed, they're reacting to decades of care and a cultural promise that the original film made. That's why hair isn't small here. It's central. Moana also broke Disney's tradition of the tiny-waisted princess aesthetic. She had strong shoulders, a realistic athletic build, and a face that didn't fit the typical Disney cookie-cutter model. The entire cast of characters in the film, from Maui to her parents to her grandmother, showed more body diversity than most Disney animated films at the time. Because of this, Moana became a major gateway for Disney's modern era of diversity. After its success, we saw films like Coco, Raya, and The Last Dragon, Soul, Encanto, and Turning Red, all with distinct cultural identities at their core. Take center stage. Moana proved that audiences wanted culturally grounded stories, and that representation wasn't just important. It was powerful. So when the live-action remake was announced, people weren't just protective of the movie. They were protective of what Moana meant. To a lot of viewers, she isn't just another Disney character. She's representation. She's identity. She's cultural pride. As soon as Disney confirmed a Moana live-action remake, announced in April 2023. The conversation immediately turned to, who will play Moana? Many fans hoped that Auli'i Cravalho, the original animated voice of Moana, would return in live action. After all, she defined the character's voice, spirit, and emotional core. But in a surprising move, Cravalho publicly announced she would not be reprising the role. In her Instagram video, she said she felt it was absolutely vital that casting accurately represents the characters and stories we want to tell. Rather than return as Moana, she accepted an executive producer role on the live-action film, helping to choose a new lead.
As I'm sure you've heard by now, live-action Moana is in the works, and we'll be very vacation for our days, so I've written things down. When I was cast as Moana at 14, it wonderfully changed my life and started my career. In this live-action telling, I will not be reprising the role. I believe it is absolutely vital that the casting accurately represents the characters and stories we want to tell. So, as an executive producer on the film, I cannot wait to help my next actress portray Moana's courageous spirit, undeniable wit, and emotional strength. I'm truly honored to pass this on to the next young woman Pacific Island descent, to honor our incredible Pacific peoples, cultures, and communities that help inspire our story, and I look forward to all the beautiful Pacific representation to come. Mahalo.
Carvalho's decision earned her a lot of respect. Many praised her for passing the baton in a thoughtful, culturally aware way. She framed it not as stepping away, but as opening an opportunity. To the next young woman of Pacific Island descent, someone who could carry Moana's legacy with authentic representation. In doing so, she reinforced the idea that this role is more than a job. It's about cultural identity and respect. Not everyone agreed, though. Some fans felt Carvalho was still absolutely perfect for the live-action role, and there was a wave of fan casts. Even Zendaya's name came up repeatedly. Edits circulated online, photoshopping Zendaya into Moana's outfit. But that turned out to be just fandom wishful thinking. Zendaya was never officially in the running. Meanwhile, when Carvalho spoke more on the matter, she doubled down. As she put it in another post, "I say that with my whole chest. I am one of the few Pacific Islanders, and our stories are so important to be told." Her decision wasn't just personal, it was deeply political and rooted in representation.
Important to me to pass the baton to the next young woman of Pacific Island descent, and I submit with my whole chest. I have been invited, and I exist in these beautiful API spaces as Asian American Pacific Islander, and I'm one of the few Pacific Islanders. I'll say again, I'm one of the few Pacific Islanders, and our stories are so important to be told, and, the Pacific Islands, Hawaii being one of them, it's used, we are used, and I want to tell our own stories. I want to be behind the camera as much as I am in front of it. When I talk about representation, I want to see the same thing happening in writers' rooms. I want to see the same thing happening with directors, and Taika Waititi talks about this as well. I want to see showrunners who are also of indigenous descent telling their own stories. And if it has to start with me, I'm 23, but if it starts with me, so be it.
But of
and I want that door
course,
to
some
swing wide
fans
open, and I
still
cannot
felt
wait
she
to
was
do the next one.
perfect for the role and wanted to see her return. Meanwhile, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson did confirm he was returning as Maui. His reaction was very personal. He described Maui as inspired by his own grandfather and said playing the character again felt like stepping into his family's lineage. Fans took that as reassurance that, at least for Maui, the live action would be in safe, authentic hands. In mid-2024, Disney finally revealed the official cast for the live-action Moana. The reaction was huge. Catherine Laga'aya, being a young actress of Pacific Island descent, immediately caught attention for how naturally she fits Moana's spirit and heritage. Filming began in July 2024 in Atlanta, and later moved to Hawaii. And that's when the first behind-the-scenes details leaked out, including the one thing fans noticed right away: The Rock wearing a full Maui bodysuit. Yes, a custom-built muscle suit designed to match Maui's larger-than-life demigod physique. Johnson explained that it takes hours to put on and helps him transform into Maui in a way that's closer to the animated design. The internet had mixed reactions. Some said it looked awesome, others said it was uncanny. But everyone was definitely talking. More set photos showed Moana's iconic boat rebuilt in real life, crew members navigating ocean scenes, and Catherine wearing early versions of Moana's signature outfit. The energy was real. Disney was definitely going big for this remake. And then, finally, the moment fans were waiting for, Disney dropped the first official teaser trailer. We got our first look at Catherine as Moana, singing on the boat, calling to the ocean, and witnessing Maui's reveal. The cinematography is huge. The waves look almost too real, and the tone feels more dramatic than the animation. And there is a lot to unpack. Now for the biggest complaint: why does the live-action Moana look more animated than the animated movie? The ocean, the lighting, the environments. Many viewers said the whole trailer felt overly polished, overly smooth, and oddly digital. A common comment was, "This looks like an Unreal Engine tech demo." Some fans said they couldn't tell what was real and what was digital, and that it defeats the purpose of doing live action if everything is CGI anyway. People compared it to the Little Mermaid and Lion King backlash. The idea that Disney is relying too heavily on digital environments instead of authentic, natural visuals. And then the controversy escalated. Some viewers claimed the trailer, especially certain shots of the ocean, and Moana's face looked AI generated, or at least filtered through AI tools. There was an incident where Disney planned to use AI deepfake technology to put Dwayne Johnson's face on a body double for the live-action Moana remake. Johnson approved the plan, but it never went ahead due to data and copyright concerns. But furthermore, now, there's no official confirmation that AI was used, but the concern taps into a bigger anxiety. Disney's recent trend of using heavy digital tools, photorealistic CGI, and AI-powered effects in marketing materials. So even if the movie isn't using AI, many people feel like it looks that way. Another huge conversation was Moana's hair. In the original animation, her curly Polynesian texture was groundbreaking. Disney literally invented brand new simulation technology just to animate her curls authentically. So when the live-action trailer showed her hair looking smoother and straighter, fans noticed immediately. On Reddit, one said, "I am so disappointed. What they did to her, natural curly hair, will scar her career." On Twitter, someone wrote, "The fact that Disney Animation developed a new engine to better simulate Moana's curls, just for the live action to remove said hair texture." Another thread said, "Straight at the top with ringlets at the tips. How are you gonna straighten the actress's hair? Disappointing." Another added, "Why the F did they straighten the actress's hair? Her natural hair already looked like Moana's." For many viewers, Moana's natural curls were not just aesthetics, they symbolized cultural identity. The straightening in the trailer feels like erasure, not just of her hair, but of what that hair represented for underrepresented communities. So that's the story so far with the live-action Moana, the cast, the trailer, the backlash, and the big debates about CGI and representation. Whether this remake wins people over, or becomes another Disney misfire, is still up in the air. Tell me what you think in the comments. Excited, skeptical, or totally over the remakes? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.